or shield. In the world of Pokemon, we see villains driven by ego, greed and madness, but A-Z, we're told to feel sorry of him. We see a giant wandering man weeping for a lost flower, cursed with an immortality he never asked for. But here's the uncomfortable truth no one ever speaks about, and we need to stop ignoring. A-Z is a mass murderer. His suffering is tragic, yes, but the tragedy does not ease responsibility. Today we're looking at why A-Z should not be forgiven and why his so-called grief is the ultimate insult to thousands he erased from history. Let's be clear, the ultimate weapon wasn't an accident. It wasn't a malfunction, this was a conscious, deliberate choice to commit mass genocide by A-Z. A-Z didn't just end the war, he annihilated life, humans, Pokemon and the entire ecosystem, all gone in a flash of light. This wasn't a king protecting his people, it was a man playing God with a trigger finger. Being sad doesn't excuse a conscious decision to wipe out a whole region. If any other villain in the Pokemon series did this, we'll call them monsters. For why does A-Z get passed just because he's got tears in his eyes? People argue he ended the war, but ending the war was just a byproduct, not the goal. A-Z's motivation was fundamentally and pathologically selfish. He didn't build a machine to bring peace to Kalos, he built it to bring back his Floret. He prioritized his personal vacuum of grief over the lives of every other living soul. Everyone in the war lost someone. Every family in Kalos was grieving. Yet none of them were given the power to resurrect the dead at the cost of the living. A-Z just decided his pain was the only pain that mattered. Then there's the so-called punishment. People say, but he's been wandering alone for 3,000 years. He's suffered enough, clearly. No, loneliness is a consequence. It is not accountability. A-Z never stood trial. He never answered to the descendants of the people he vaporized. He never spent those 3 millennia trying to rebuild what he broke. He spent them grieving. Suffering in silence isn't atonement. Feeling regret doesn't bring back the dead. If a criminal feels bad after a crime, we might pity them, but we still demand justice, right? A-Z got a poetic ending, not a legal one. Finally, forgiving A-Z sets a dangerous moral precedent for the Pokemon world. If we absolve him because he felt bad afterwards, we are saying that extreme violence is excusable, and as long as the perpetrator has a sad enough backstory, it's okay. The Pokemon franchise is built on harmony and responsibility. If the greatest act of mass murder in history of this world is met with a hug and a welcome hug, the moral weight of those themes collapse. A-Z is a tragic figure, but he's also a war criminal. We can acknowledge his pain without pardoning his actions, surely, because if we forgive the man who destroyed the world for a single flower, then what does justice even mean in the Pokemon world? Well, what do you think? Is 3,000 years of wandering enough to pay for genocide? Or is A-Z the most successful villain in the series because he convinced us to all feel sorry for him? Let's argue in the comments. Don't forget to like and subscribe for more Pokemon deep dives, and we'll see you in the next one.